All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. My name is Emanuel Livingston. I'm with you probably till 5 o'clock. I definitely will be leaving. Probably will be leaving on time. I think I'm supposed to go pick up the little baby. So I, I can't be late picking up the little baby. So it's going to be what it's going to be. And then I'm going to be out. But welcome to the show, everyone. I appreciate your support. Got a couple things that I want to talk about. Let me say, listening to Wyatt's show, the very end of Wyatt's show was interesting, and I have some thoughts on that. I'm gonna miss it when Wyatt moved to 5 o'clock because I ain't gonna be able to steal his shit. But yeah, a little bit of the stuff that happened at the end of Wyatt Live. If you don't check out Wyatt Live, then you might want to check it out. Young man by the name of Randa Wyatt. Just look him up on Facebook or on YouTube, or check out, he got a page for it, Wyatt Live. Go check that out. And check out his show. He typically come on. I typically try to tune in around 1:30. I think he shoots for 1, but I understand the idea that, you shoot for one thing, but reality kicks in and you have to do something else. So about 1:30, I typically go check him out. And yeah, so you might want to check out his show. All right. But yeah, I'm going to miss stealing from his show. But I have a couple things that I do want to discuss. But of course, first, let me say hello. I take this time in the show to say hello to the people who say hello to me, because I think it's important. And I have fun. I always say it's the best part of the show. And after I say hello to everybody, everything goes downhill. If you don't want to hear the hello part, I would tell you come back in 30 minutes, but I might not even be finished saying hello in 30 minutes. It sounds weird. It take you 30 minutes to say hello. You have to watch the hellos to understand why it takes so long. Because people be on there saying stuff, and then I have to respond to them. So, I got haters. Anthony Prosser. He's first. Speaking of haters, Anthony Prosser in the house. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you for checking out the show. Erica Hummins, representing Reading. Good afternoon, ma'am. Thank you for checking out the show. I'm going to stop saying sir and ma'am. I'm trying to get with the times, see? And it's 2025. Just because his name Anthony, he might not identify as a sir. He might identify as a ma'am, or as a it, or as a they. You never know. So I might just stop with the sir and ma'am and all that stuff. I don't want to be offensive. Erica Hummins, representing Rating. Good afternoon. Alethea Williams in the house. She says, hey, like the Fonz. Hey, Alethea, one of the killer bees. Anthony Prosser also says, afternoon, fam. Got Jack in the house. He's laughing about something, but he say he's straight out of Norwood. Jack, I appreciate you. Does that wrap up the top 5? 1, 2, 3, 4. And Dwayne Larkin, wrapping up the top 5. Good afternoon, Dwayne. He's representing Mount Airy, or Dwayne is representing Mount Airy. Sierra in the house. Good afternoon, Sierra. And happy Wednesday to you as well. Tanika in the house, representing beautiful Orlando, Florida. Good afternoon, Tanika. Good afternoon. Got Ben in the house. Ben Thomas, good afternoon, Ben. Thank you for checking out the show. Andrea Bussell, representing Golf Manor in the house. Y'all, when are we going to do another live broadcast? I'm asking y'all, but when do y'all want to do another live broadcast? Not while it's still cold out there. But y'all huddle up and y'all tell me when y'all want to do another live broadcast. I'm missing a live broadcast. I want to be out amongst the people, so people can come up to me and hate on me face to face. That's what happens. But you have to understand, most of the hate that, I receive, most of it, not all of it, most of it is in good fun. And I appreciate hate that's in good fun. So, yeah. Y'all huddle up and let me know when y'all want to do something live. And I have been looking around Because when I believe it was Anthony last time I spoke to him about the gun club thing, and I'm checking on race, I'm getting some ringing from somewhere. I don't know where. I think I'm sitting. I might need to move forward just a little bit. Y'all don't hear it, or at least I don't think y'all hear it. But the room, there's a certain frequency that's bouncing back. Ooh. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Ooh. Yeah, there's a frequency bouncing around in this room. I got to get this soundproof. Okay, back to what I was doing. I don't forgot what I was talking about. That frequency is driving me crazy, and I want to put up some soundproofing right now and get rid of it. Andrea Bustle representing Gulf Manor, good afternoon. Steban Speed representing Westwood, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Daryl Carpenter out there in the park. Oh, I meant to turn the phones off. But it's ringing now. I got to answer it. Alethea.
Hi and good evening.
Good evening. Good afternoon. It's not evening yet.
Okay, it's evening for me. But anyways, let me tell you this. I've been thinking since I talked to you and said give Twin, help him with the word Buick. And I'll be doggone if he still pronounced it the same way and then went against what I said. Like, just teach him. He'll learn. He told me, you can't teach me nothing. I say how I say it. Hey, I wanted to be like, you know what? Twin, I try to help you out. But as of now, I have to let you know, I sincerely apologize for trying to say, just help him out. Stop teasing him. Yeah, you were right. I was wrong.
Well, I appreciate that. That's big of you to admit. Because, normally people don't admit that. So, yeah.
Yeah. I couldn't believe he still was pronouncing it the same way. But I know you haven't got on your topic yet, but I had to call you before you got started.
Well, I appreciate the call.
You're very welcome. I'll talk to you soon.
All right. That's Alethea. Where was I? Let me get back here. Let me see. I said Daryl Carpenter representing Forest Park out there in Lab B today. Good afternoon. We got Crystal Hoskins. Yes, Crystal Hoskins representing the Christ Hospital. Good afternoon, Crystal Hoskins. I'm making sure that I say it out loud and, stress that I'm talking to Crystal Hoskins and I'm saying good afternoon, because yesterday I was accused of not doing that. I didn't go back and look, so I really might not have. But I have to be over the top with it today just to make sure we get it out there. I did it. Daryl, I'm not reading that. I really wish you wouldn't say that. Daryl. Sierra says, Wyatt is moving to 5. That's going to mess up the Cincy talk show flow. I know he's considering it. So I don't think he's made a definitive decision. I keep getting distracted by this frequency that's bouncing off the wall. I don't think that he's made it final. Brent, good afternoon, representing Dallas, Texas. Good afternoon. We got Janice in the house, my favorite. Janice in the house. Good afternoon, Janice. I appreciate you. Pamela Kinney, representing North Avondale. Good afternoon, Pamela Kinney. Drea, representing Sycamore Township. Good afternoon. Veronica Burdine, not sure which, representing College Hill. Good afternoon. Terry Anderson, representing Downtown. Good afternoon, Terry. Thank you for checking out the show. Okay, he's talking to somebody else. Brenda representing Fairfield. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Brenda. Vincent Jones was good. He said Blue Ash in the house. All right, Blue Ash. Ibadathia, what's up? Thank you for checking out the show. Nakia, or as a shim. I don't know what that means. Sorry, I don't know what that means. But good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Mary Birch Lavender representing White Oak in the house. Good afternoon. Thank you for checking out the show. Zakia. Oh, I ain't seen Zakia in a minute. Is this the real Zakia? Because, people be making fake pages with people's names. Is this the real Zakia? I'm not sure. But either way, thank you for checking out the show, Zakia. Lamont Jones representing Westwood. Good afternoon, Lamont Jones. Thank you. Thank you for checking out the show. Diane Huddleston Angel. She says hello, or Diane says hello, repping Gulf Manor today. All right, you can't beat that. Jack says, hey, like all the black women nowadays yell out while dancing. Oh, it was that A, not Fonzie. Nobody does the Fonz A anymore. Okay, she was saying that effeminate A. I hear some men say that too, and I'd be like, that's a lady thing to say. Let's see. Ken representing Virginia by way of Cincinnati. Sorry, you in Virginia. You represent Virginia. Your job is to get the people in Virginia to become members of the kingdom. That's what I'm calling it now. Y'all are all members. I'm the king of talk. You guys are members, subjects of the king. So you're a part of the kingdom. Ken, thank you for checking out the show. I appreciate you. Linda Evans, representing Pleasant Ridge. Good afternoon. Lewis Talbert in the house. Good afternoon, Lewis Talbert. Appreciate you. Dina, she says, hey, King and AXP fam. Good afternoon, Dina, the angel. Good afternoon. And by the way, angels live in Walnut Hills, in case you didn't know. Karen Dye Williams, representing Westwood. Good afternoon, Karen. Good afternoon. Dominique Finley. We got both the Killer Bees in the house representing Walnut Hills. All right. Well, apparently, because she said, and y'all know Nikki's is, so angels don't necessarily have to be the only ones that live in Walnut Hills, because Nikki is representing Walnut Hills too, and we know about them Nickies. Not saying that one specifically, but we know about, so yeah, Nikki is also in Walnut Hills. All right. Let's see. Nat Turner. He's representing, typically he's representing Madisonville. Good afternoon. Tria in the house. Tria says, hey, everyone. Hey, Tria. Appreciate you. Pamela Kinney in the house representing North Avondale. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Pamela Kinney. Let's see. Valerie Davis in the house. Good afternoon, Valerie. See, that's a perfect example. If I say she, Valerie's not a she. Valerie's a he. I think. I'm pretty sure. Myosha. For someone who claims to hate the cold, why are you wearing short sleeves? I'm inside, but I am kind of cold. But I again, this was one of those days where I just came in, ran down, and, changed the date on the thing and pulled up a video and went live. So I had my coat on. My coat is sitting right here, and I'm really tempted to put it back on because, it's cold. But I'm inside. Regina Denson Griffin representing Claremont County. All right. Well, good afternoon. Let me see. Do I have everybody? Let me see. I gotta talk to Zakia. Somebody said they think that's the real one. So now you're calling a serfs? I don't know what that means, Brent. I don't know what that means. I'm not that smart. Let's see. Leave Nikki alone. I don't know about Nikki in particular. I just know. Y'all know my views on Nikki's and Keisha's. Shahira, representing Sycamore Township. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Bonita. Good afternoon, Bonita. I appreciate you checking us out, Bonita Gaines. I don't want to shortchange her on her last name. Chelsea Livingston. That's my niece, by the way. And you owe me a call. You called me. I was in the middle of a movie. Like, literally, when I hit the thing, it was like 62 minutes left in the movie and 62 minutes had elapsed in the movie. So I was directly in the middle of a movie. But you never called me back. It hurt my feelings just a little bit. Let me see. Shahira says, Emanuel, your new profile pic really confirmed something for me. Just the other day I was thinking you remind me of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Then you posted that new profile pic and confirmed I was right. You look like a turtle. No shade, just what you remind me of. How does somebody say you look like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but no shade? That is all shade. That's all shade. No sunlight peeking in whatsoever. That's all shade. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. People remind people of whatever they remind them of. But you can't tell somebody they look like a turtle and then say no shade. It's all shade, no sun. But all right. Fake Dave Stinger says, long time no see. All right. Well, thank you for checking out the show. I appreciate you. And let's get to it. Now, which do we want to do? I'm going to actually let y'all vote. Which should I talk about first? The thing that I'm stealing from Wyatt's show? Or the thing that I'm stealing from somebody's Facebook post? Because both of my topics are kind of stolen. So, Wyatt or Facebook? Wyatt or Facebook? Which do we hit first? I'm letting y'all decide. I'm not talking about either one of them until y'all tell me which one y'all want first. We need more details. Nope, that's all you get. Mary says Facebook post. So, all right, Facebook post. It is. Facebook post it is. I'm minding my own business. And up on my timeline on Facebook comes this video that you may or may not have seen. And people are celebrating this video. And it bothered me so. And I'm like, I really can't believe people are celebrating this. I'm going to show y'all a little clip of the video. This is the clip that's kind of circulating on Facebook. And people are celebrating it. All right? Hold on, let me make sure I do this. Y'all seen this yet?
So you went from saying that my outfit was really cute to saying I'm an effing idiot. That's so mean.
But I think that your point of view is very obstructed, and I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really.
Yeah, the girl was being interviewed on the street. It's like an 8-minute clip. So yes, she is interviewing the girl. This lady is clearly like what they call it, pro-life or whatever. She's clearly pro-life. She's standing in the street. You have the opportunity to either talk to her or to keep it moving. This lady decides to stop and talk to her. So, of course, she's pushing her views. And is this what we've come to now? If somebody, I can't even necessarily say she demolished her in the argument, but if somebody's view is different from yours, she could have just walked away. She could have just walked away. Like, I'm done with this interview. F you, lady. Your views ain't met. F you, lady. Any of that kind of stuff. She could have did any of that. But she chose to physically attack her. She physically attacked her. And I'm telling you, the post that I got on my page was like, ooh, she taught her a lesson. Ooh, she deserved that. And I'm looking at the comments below and people are like, you can't just be asking people questions and expect that people just gonna take it. What? You can't be asking people questions and expect that they just gonna take it? Hold on, let me go to the phone. CK?
Hey, how you doing, Mr. Livingston?
CK, I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, sir. I watched the movie that you just showed the audience, sir, and I was totally stunned by what I witnessed, sir, when I first watched it, and I was just as stunned this time watching it on your platform as I was the first time I watched it. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was. I think the woman who assaulted the victim was out of line, Livingston. I think she was dead wrong. We're having a civil debate, nice little argument. You're making points, she's making points. The assault, I felt it because it's a good debate. So I felt that she felt she was losing the debate and got physical, which was totally out of line. And I think she should be arrested for assault. Livingston, dead serious.
She definitely should. But have you seen the comments? The many, I'm so shocked. Honestly, I'm so shocked. Like I almost clutched for pearls, even though I've never worn pearls. I'm so shocked at the people who are like, she deserved it, and that's what you get, and all of that kind of stuff. Have you seen those comments?
Yes, sir. I did see those. Yes, I did see those comments, Mr. Livingston. No, sir. I'm sorry. I did not see those. I got distracted. Yes, I did not see that. So you're saying the people are supporting violence?
Yes.
Yes, this is, and you're right. This is what we have come to as a society because what she did. Oh man! Because when she greeted the young woman, it was with so much love and admiration, and I love your hair, and oh girl, it was all that. And for you to turn within 3 to 4 minutes to turn into slapping this girl, punching this girl, oh man, it just hurted my heart, Livingston. I didn't think it was right. Livingston. I think the big woman had insecurities what led to the violence.
Well, she definitely was insecure in her argument.
Yes.
Yes. This was the post. This is, I'm going to read it. I'm not going to say who posted it. But it says, I'm going to hold y'all hands when I say this, but don't let this internet get y'all's A-whooped. Some folk will let you play with them. Some folk won't. Sis got the Mario coins knocked out of her with laughing emojis and all of that kind of stuff. And the comments below here are even worse. Like, she deserved it. You can't be talking to people, asking people questions, and like, I'm like, is this now the way that we believe that one should respond to someone with a differing opinion?
Let's go deeper. Let's call them out for what it is and what they are. Pure jealousy. They seen a pretty girl get hit and they was happy. Yeah, I bet she ain't gonna be asking no questions. Yeah, let's go deep. You don't care nothing about the issue. You looked at the assailant and you looked at the victim and you liked that the victim got fucked up. You be wanting to punch them pretty girls in the face. Let's go deeper. That's what it is. The ugly the mudgoids like beating up the pretty girls. They always go through it their whole life. I don't know why she don't like me because you're pretty and she ugly.
Well, I don't know that either of them was all that pretty, to necessarily to my
Yes,
liking,
yes,
but-
she was pretty. The victim was pretty. Don't do that,
Was she?
Livingston.
Was she?
Do not do that.
Hold on. Maybe I missed something. Hold on. And I don't want to,
Yeah, go back.
shame nobody, like tell her she looked like a turtle or nothing like that. So I don't want to shame
Yeah, let's
nobody.
look at these looks.
But
Let's look at these looks, because we almost had a man looking one. We almost had, if it wasn't all the way, you could mistake the other one for almost a man. She's almost a man looking at the chick.
Okay, I'm looking at her. She just looked like a chick to me. Like,
The man looking one or the female looking one?
they both just look, neither of them look like man looking or anything. They both
Oh, okay. I thought the big one might have
look
been
like
a little manly.
normal
She had
chicks,
some
like-
broad shoulders.
I don't think either of them is unattractive. I don't think either of them is exceptionally attractive. They're both just average looking women to me.
Oh, equally stoked. Equally yoked.
I don't see what you see. Hold on, let me see if did they get
So
a
they both
better
the same.
picture of
They the
her?
same right. Not nobody is dominating nobody on the look side.
She hit her and then she kind of ran away. I don't see it. But if you see it,
Now, is that some bit? Okay, but yeah, let's leave that alone. But is that some bitch shit? Is that some hoe shit? Some coward shit? Some sucker shit?
yes.
Because we need to start calling these hoes some bitches and shit. That's when you need to call it.
I'm
like
not
you-
using the
I'm-
B
no,
word. Number one.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, that's
But-
no problem. That's what I'm saying. Your problem as a man, and why you can't teach to you, because you got the balls to call another nigga, oh, you a bitch ass nigga, if he do some bitch ass nigga shit. But if a woman do some bitch ass nigga shit, oh, I'm not calling. No, call the bitch what she is. Or don't call the bitch ass nigga. Use the same fucking rules.
I don't typically
See?
cuss, period. So I don't think I
Nah,
would
but
say
you
that.
will call a nigga a bitch. You don't cuss, but you will call a nigga a bitch ass nigga if he do some bitch ass nigga shit.
I don't
right?
even know for sure that I've ever used that term. But
Now you gonna lie like that.
I'm just saying,
Okay.
I think it was some cowardly stuff.
Mhm.
It definitely was some kind of weak-minded stuff. You just physically attack somebody because you got housed in a debate. I don't like that. But more than not liking that, because that's just one individual, I don't like the people, like I saw, who's on here? Wait a minute. Where is he? Was it Timothy? Somebody.
Mhm.
Timothy Allen says she provoked
What did he
her
say?
into violence. Asking you questions and, trashing your argument is not a provocation to violence.
Right.
But the fact
Right.
that in our society, that's where we are now. I don't agree with your point of view. I think it's okay for me to physically assault you. I got a problem with that.
And Livingston, we've always had a problem with that, and you've preached this for many years. You know what I mean? You because remember what you always check. You always check when they say, "Well, what's wrong with a fight?" No, we don't need to fight. What are we fighting for? We're just having a conversation. We're just having a talk. Now you want to lose an argument because you see what I think the words that made her get physical is when she kept hitting her back with the oh, so you say it's cool to kill the kids.
Right.
Remember that part?
Yes.
That's what provoked her. Talk to me, Livingston. She said something about the kid. That's what made it sensitized. That was sensitized.
Okay.
Remember what she said?
But you got to be strong enough mentally. Like, to me, that's
Yes.
that mental fragility that I was talking about with Marvin Sapp. The people who I feel like if somebody closed the doors, that means I can't leave, and I felt forced to give $20 even though I didn't have it because I don't want to be embarrassed, or I don't, that's that same fragility. Like, I'm voluntarily doing an interview / debate with you, and you got the best of me, and you said something about me, so I feel like I have to attack you. Walk away.
Yes. She can't walk away because she wants to hurt that girl. That's what I'm saying. It's deeper than rap. It's deeper than the convo. I don't like you. I never liked you. I want to hurt you. I really want you dead. That's the least she wanted to do to her. She could have broke that girl's jaw, man. She could have broke. See, this is what leads. This is what starts the violence. Now, bitch, I got to pop you. Now you got to die. See, you can't play with that. Don't be punching people in the face because they will come back and murder your fat ass. So that's what you got to realize too. Stop walking around hitting people in the face like they won't come back and end your life or somebody in your family life. Think about that next time y'all want to put your hands on somebody.
CK,
you see what I mean?
CK, I appreciate your input, sir.
You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about you need to don't run away from the retaliation, Livingston.
No, I get it. I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you.
But there's one more point I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay.
Was the guy? It was a guy, young man. He's late 20s, maybe 30 at the most. He reminded me of a young Livingston, man. He stood up like you did, like when you was that age, right? It was gang banging podcast culture, right? Young guys, maybe mid 30s, and the Mexican guy came in. One Mexican saying the N-word, and they just going along with it. But the guy that reminded me of the King of Talk, he said, "Hold up, man, this guy, you can't be just saying the N-word like that." And all the other brothers in the room is debating him, defending the Mexican guy using the N-word. I say, look at little E-Man. I say, E-Man, he'll stand up now, and you never tolerated that type of behavior, did you? You would have said something with it.
I definitely have always been one that would stand up for what I believe in. Yes.
And that's something. So if you know, in your history of the work experience at when you was at the radio station, if a Mexican guy came in using the N-word and no brother said nothing, would you be the one to speak up?
Probably, yes.
On public? Okay, yeah, that's. I just wanted to give you that. I was like, so your influence has made it, and this was a West Coast guy, gangbanger, but he still got your ambition, stand up ability.
All
yes,
right.
sir. Yes, sir. I had to tell you that part, man. That's where I called to tell you. Much love to the family and keep getting them educational points for everybody. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, CK. All right, that was CK. Now, I see a few comments because, I can see some of the comments. I see a few comments. Few people are saying, no, she was provoked. We didn't see it in the video, but she was provoked. Well, I believe I have the whole interview here. So let's see. Hold on. Let's see.
So you went from saying that keep just saying I'm an effing idiot. That's so mean.
But I think that your point of view is very obstructed, and I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really.
Okay, so y'all
You have a channel?
Yeah, we're doing some interviews today.
I love your skin tone too.
Thank you. Such a good vibe.
Of course.
Well, awesome. So we're asking people's opinion today on Planned Parenthood. Are you familiar with them?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know what they provide?
Yes. Abortions.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Safe abortions.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know any other services that they provide?
I know, like, to teens, if you're under 18, you could get like birth control, condoms, counseling. They offer a lot of, beneficial things that the youth.
Okay, we're not gonna watch the whole.
If you get caught up with the wrong guy, you think you're in love, and then boop, now you stuck.
Okay, hold on. Let me answer the phone. We gonna go back to it. We're gonna go back to it. I want to see the provocation.
Hello?
Caller.
Oh. Hey, I posted that comment about the video being edited. So, from my understanding, what we're seeing on the video is not the entire video. It's been cut and edited. And so it looks like she was unprovoked. I don't think people should just hit people, but everybody deserves to be hit back. Now, from my understanding, this is not the accurate video, what is being played. There was more to the video, but they edited. So I was figuring this is maybe why she wasn't arrested. There's more to this video or to the story. Because why wasn't she arrested?
Well, it looked like she ran away, But that's all in the longer video. I have the interview, which I was playing when you called in. So I have it's an 8-minute plus.
I saw it.
Video. So we're gonna kind of watch it. But I'm telling you,
But that's the video that the girl who says she's defending herself. I mean, because that video is out there. She's saying that video is edited. And if the girl is going to be releasing video, release the unedited footage.
Right, but what I'm saying is just based on what I see.
Oh, okay. Well, that's based on what you see, and that's kind of like social media at its best.
Yeah,
for instance, I saw a wreck happen, and all you see at the end is this car flipped upside down, and everybody's going to comment on that, but not what really happened.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We watched her walk up and basically accept the interview. Okay?
Okay.
And so we'll watch. Now, I'm a fairly, you know what I'm saying, I do a little editing here and there.
I'm aware.
Have to do any editing or anything to be able to look at a video and see that is one continuous unedited shot. So that's what I'm about to do. We about to look at it. We're gonna see. Is this?
I'll go with your professional opinion on if it was edited, but she's saying the girl who got sucker punched needs to release the unedited footage with her relentless behavior toward her, which she's saying is cut out. Now, I could be wrong. She might just be making that up, but, that's her side of the story. So I just want to put that out there.
Yeah, and that's why we about to watch the whole thing. And we'll be able to look at it and be like, oh, there was an edit right there.
I'm not a professional, so I'll go with your professional judgment on that one.
All right.
Okay, you have a good one.
All right, you do the same. Thanks for calling.
Bye-bye.
All right. And that may not have been her phone. That may have been, apparently there is something going on with this app, and I have to shut it down every once in a while because it does that when people call, and I have to reset it. So that may not have been her phone. But let's go back, because people always are saying, I said we wasn't going to watch it. But I think it's an interesting enough conversation that we can watch. We can watch. So let's back this up. Let's just listen.
I love your skin tone too.
Hold on, let's go back.
You have a channel?
Yeah, we're doing some interviews today.
I love your skin tone too.
Thank you. Such a good vibe.
Of course.
Well, awesome. So we're asking people's opinion today on Planned Parenthood. Are you familiar with them?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know what they provide?
Yes. Abortions.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Safe abortions.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know any other services that they provide?
I know, like, to teens, if you're under 18, you could get like birth control, condoms, counseling. They offer a lot of, beneficial things that the youth really should use right now.
Okay. So you have a pretty positive view of Planned Parenthood.
I mean, majority. I don't know. Is this like a yes or no? Am I wrong?
It's your opinion.
But yeah, that is definitely my opinion. I feel like, especially as teens, people get caught up in things that they really don't want to commit to for their entire lives. So if you get caught up with the wrong guy, you think you're in love, and then boop, now you stuck. Not stuck, but you're stuck with a baby for the rest of this time, literally the rest of their lives and your life, if you're that kind of mother, because some women just don't have it in them and they abandon them and abuse them and all kind of shit. And it's like, girl, just get rid of it if you know you're going to do that.
Get rid of them. Why not just give them to another family that's good?
No, but exactly, even that. And that's another option that Planned Parenthood offers. So it's like, if you know that you are not the being who can provide for this child, then there are alternative options out there for you. So I definitely understand why people do abort children. Don't have babies that you don't want. Don't have babies that men are telling you in front of your face that they do not want. I wish more would stop doing that. Like it's like a plan to.
Why don't they just stop having sex with people they don't want to have a child with?
That too. To me, it's always pro-choice, your body, your life, because that baby is gonna be a baby.
It's a baby.
Yeah, and you're gonna have that baby
person.
forever. So
yeah. Well, do you know that Planned Parenthood gets nearly $700 million of our taxpayer money every year?
$700 million? I mean, honestly, I can't go against Planned Parenthood. I just can't. $700 million for how many single mothers?
Of our money. But they're not giving it to single mothers, though. Yeah.
I mean, if we're gonna just, single out where it is that our tax dollars go, then the police, respectfully.
So it's really interesting because since 2010, prenatal care has been down for 80% since 2010 at Planned Parenthood. Adoption referrals. So this is why this is research straight from their yearly report of 2022 to 2023, I believe it is. And so they're a 501c3. They have to tell us what they do every single year. So this is straight.
Which should be any union corporation. If we are paying tax dollars towards you, I need to know that you are doing the job and doing it correctly.
Right. But let me continue to tell you. So the STI testing and treatment down 15% since 2019. Client numbers down overall 34% since 2006.
Nobody has insurance. I don't have insurance.
Donors down 21%. Contraceptives down 44%. Breast screenings, manual breast exams down over 80%. And you mentioned adoption. They commit 228 abortions for every one adoption referral. So why are they getting so much more money yet all of their services are going down?
The services are going down because people are afraid. Women.
What are they afraid of?
Women don't know. They don't know what they're exposing their bodies to. A lot of people, especially behind abortion, there's a stigma.
But their abortions are going up. So they used to have this slogan where they said safe, legal, and rare. That's what we want. Safe, legal, and rare abortions, until it was exposed that a lot of these facilities were requiring abortion quotas. So the more abortions each facility did, the more praise that they would get. They would get awards. And so it's really interesting. That doesn't really make it seem like they want safe, legal, and rare abortions.
How many people can you think, or are you going to assume, would literally abandon their children with no repercussions from the state?
No, it's called Safe Haven Baby Boxes. We're at a fire station or hospital. You can leave your baby, and the mother doesn't have to do anything with it. But that's better than killing her baby through abortion, right?
No, ma'am.
It's not better to give your baby up to a family who wants them instead of killing them?
No, ma'am. I have seen so many stories and countless, literally, countless stories.
What happens in an abortion?
They literally suck the life out of you. They're going to take the whole baby out. And as they should, because I shouldn't be a taxpayer paying child support and food stamps and WIC for women.
You should be a taxpayer paying for abortions?
Exactly. But as for a woman who didn't want the baby in the first place, that doesn't make sense to me. Don't ever sit here and lock yourself down with a man who already told you he doesn't want to be with you. I
agree with you.
I'm not disagreeing with you either. I understand.
You don't get to kill the baby just because their dad didn't want them.
You can.
Should we kill the kids in foster care?
Why not? Why not? If that's the case.
We should kill the kids in foster care that aren't wanted?
Who's going to take care of them? I need to know the percentage of people who take children from foster care and abuse them and molest them, who make them like personal slaves.
We should just kill them.
Statistics before you come to me talking about pro-life.
We should kill the victims of molestation.
I think, what does this have to do with molestation?
You just mentioned people molesting children. We should kill the kids in foster care is what you said.
What I'm saying is in general, overall. If I don't want to have a baby, I should have the choice to.
Just don't have sex then. Just don't have sex.
That's not even logical.
It is.
Who are you, Nancy?
I sound dumb.
You sound dumb as
Okay.
It does, because even as teens, people explore. And it's like, as funny as you want to be, people should still have the choice.
So you went from saying that my outfit was really cute to saying I'm an effing idiot. That's so mean.
But I think that your point of view is very obstructed, and I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really.
What's wrong with you? You have a.
Okay, I think we watched the whole thing. They kind of chased her down the street a little bit and, whatnot. But, yeah, we watched it. There were some edits, but they were still involved in regular back and forth conversation. The girl did say kill the people in foster care. She said it. I thought you'd be mad at the lady for saying what you said. She was completely unjustified in her attack. Fame.
Hey, how you doing, buddy?
Fame, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm pleasant, per usual. But I guess that video been going around because I saw somebody talking about it on another podcast yesterday. I'll get to that in a second. Today was the first day I saw it, and that one in Brown's an asshole. There's no other way around it. She ran out of fodder for her arguments. Old girl in the blue was smoking her and ready to take her out, and realized the girl in brown realized she got taken out into deep waters and was about to drown, so she punched that girl. That was BS.
It was
clear. That was clear. I'm getting whooped in this argument. I've got nothing else to say. Let me do some ignorant stuff.
Because one of the reasons, many reasons that she was wrong, but one of the reasons was because at any point during that interview, she could have just walked away.
Exactly. Trying to force her will and realize that her will wasn't going to get forced. And so she resulted to violence. I'm just glad that was a Spanish girl and not a black one.
I'm not sure like if she was Spanish or black, but
I thought I heard a little bit of Latin twang in there a little bit.
Maybe.
The way she was rolling R's a little bit.
I'm not sure. I'm not saying she is or isn't. I'm just saying I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. But yeah, they were talking about that video on another podcast in which you were alluded to. The young woman that alluded to you, working with you in the out fighting, blah, blah, blah. And they mentioned my name. She mentioned my name by name, talking about some why she said what she said about my mother. And so I tried to call in. They wouldn't let me call in. Though I guess they were trying to protect the young lady, realizing like she had stepped into the deep end talking to dude. You should never mention his name. If he ain't talking about it, he doesn't let it go. The thing is, my thing with that is that when do we insult grown folks as mothers? Like when's the last time somebody said your mama or your mammy, something like that to you, Emanuel? What, 9th grade?
No, not too long ago.
Somebody that you're good with then, right?
No.
Oh, so somebody you want to smoke with?
No, apparently they wanted smoke with me.
Exactly. So you go there, that means you're letting it be known that it's on site. That we at that point.
No.
That's why grown men don't. That's why grown men don't mention each other's mothers.
Look. See, maybe I view this whole thing differently. Maybe I like to think, maybe just intellectually, maturity-wise, I'm on a much higher level apparently than a whole lot of people, because you can say whatever your words are just words. They might hurt my feelings, but if you're not physically attacking me, there's no reason, there's nothing that you can say that's gonna make me feel like I have to physically assault you. Now, there's something you can do. You can physically assault me, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. But you can say my mama, my sister, my daddy, my grandmama, my whatever. You can say what, I don't care about your words. That may be that, and I think, apparently, I'm on a higher intellectual level or maturity level than people who get so provoked by words. There's no excuse. Well, hold on, let me say, there are very, very few excuses. You know what I'm saying? If you're threatening me or something like that, and I'm really taking your threat serious, that's like the precursor to something physical. But you just saying your mama is not gonna make me want to fight you. I think that is irresponsible, immature, and it shows you have some sort of an intellectual deficiency.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. That's why I'm like, I'm almost 50 years old. Like, why are we insulting seniors like this? This behavior is so irrational that like I don't know what your problem is. You have deeper issues than to attack somebody's mother like that. So yeah, I'm I don't know what you were trying to convey, but because in 20 years of you on the radio, I've heard people slightly disparage your older brother, and you come out swinging.
Verbally.
Verbally swinging. Yes. But I'm just saying, so there's just certain things that provoke things that provoke people, in a certain way. That's why I was just like, why would you do that? You don't know the type of person I can react to something like that. That's why I was trying to explain to the younger person. That's what I'm saying. That's a generational thing. Like, our generation, we don't do that. You don't go on somebody's family that you don't know. You see what I'm saying? But see, this current generation, these are the people that are, kill you and make a rap song video at your gravesite. The moral decay of society.
Well,
it was basically case in point.
Well, also, Fame, my other topic that I wanted to discuss was what I heard you and Wyatt talking about at the end of his show. The way that the child support and the child custody system, they don't work and play together. And it does bother me when I hear, because some people I think Ed was on there, and he was saying, look, when I went to court in 91, I went and I had my child support set and my custody set all in the same hearing. And I'm like, great for you. But that's not the way that it always works with everybody. Not to mention, even if that's the case, if they tell me, Emanuel, you have to pay $1,000 a month in child support, and you get to see your child the every other weekend, you get your child or whatever, which is exceptionally unfair, but it's kind of standard. They have a mechanism in place to make sure they get that money. That money coming right out of my check. They have a mechanism in place. They don't have a mechanism in place to make sure I get my visitation. And so a lot of these women, some of these women, I don't want to say a lot. Some of these women will just not obey the order. And I'm telling you, I've been there. I filed orders with I don't think it's called an order, but I filed with the court saying I'm not being allowed to see my child, and had a hearing. And the magistrate is like, to the other party, like, will you let him see his child? Like, yes. I'm like, but what about the past 5 times when I haven't been allowed to see my child? Well, moving forward, you're going to be able to see your child. And then when that didn't happen and we ended up back in front of that same magistrate, now, it was a stern warning, like, if you don't follow my order, then you're going to be in some trouble. Like, but no trouble now. And then when it didn't happen again, now we're back in front of the magistrate, and it's like, if you don't follow my order, there is no mechanism, because they don't want to put these chicks in jail. They don't want to fine them or nothing like that. So there is no true mechanism in place. And I hear a lot of people who haven't been through that part of it say stuff like what Wyatt was saying. And God bless him, Wyatt. You've always been in the position where there was no obstacle to you seeing your child and being a part of your child's life. But everybody can't say that. And until you've gone through, you got to try hard. I was trying hard as hell. And I ended up in court 3 or 4 times for the same thing. So I really want people to understand this is a real issue that a lot of men in particular, I'm sure some women, but a lot of men deal with, and to just dismiss it as, you not trying, or, well, didn't you go to court? Didn't they say she got to do it? Then she gonna do it. It don't work out that way.
And going back to what you said about Ed, I saw that comment. I was thinking like, well, maybe he was married, and and they did it all in one case, or he had a reasonable other mother, the mother of his kid. Maybe she was just a reasonable person. A lot of times, I'd like to say she's an outlier, because a lot of times you don't deal with a reasonable person. they want you to go to court to see your own kid. You see what I'm saying? Like, that tells you that they're probably a little unreasonable. Yeah. Why would I have to go to court to see my kid? Like, I thought we was good enough to make it. Now you saying I ain't good enough to see it? That's bizarre. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So yeah, and that's why I said that about him. I was like, bruh, it's obvious you've never been involved in it, and you don't know anybody who has, because the stuff you're saying is practical stuff. You know what I'm saying? So thanks for taking my side. I appreciate that. You know, maybe he'll stick that in his pipe and smoke it. But I'm a little conflicted right now because one of my ancestors came back to life, the dire wolf, and I'm conflicted because I'm glad to see it, but at the same time, the Unabomber told us about effing around with science 30 years ago. He said this exact thing will happen. Technology will get into the wrong hands. Now we've gotten to the point where Jurassic Park is probably 3 years away from being real. Trust me, I guarantee you they're working on trying to get a woolly mammoth, some type of prehistoric creature to come to life.
They probably are. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but, hey, man, it's always a pleasure. And we'll try this again some other day soon. But until then, everybody, just remember, when you see that pink full moon next week, look out for me. Oh!
That is Fame. And yeah, that was the second, that was the Wyatt piece. Because I did hear them having that discussion towards the end of the show. And again, I'm not saying my experience is not everybody's experience. Some people have very reasonable partners and they co-parent very well together. There's no drama or anything like that. There are some people who we don't even have to go to court. I'm going to give you money and do whatever I have to do to take care of my child. And I get to see my child whenever I want to see my child. My child want to see me. And it works. Some people can make it work. But when you go through that system is not necessarily fair. And I do say to, in particular, men, you got to fight. You got to fight. You can't give up. But I've had a number of men say to me, like, look, bro, I'm not you. I can't deal with all of that stuff that you dealt with. I can't go through all of that stuff that you went through. I don't function the way that you function. I've been fighting and I'm losing and losing. And at some point, I'm just like, F it. It is what it is. I'm done with it. And I'm like, no, you can't stop. But at the same time, I understand some of these men and some of the things that they're going through where they're like, is this worth the fight? And I just always say, it's not, is it worth the fight? Is your child worth the fight? Is your child's future worth the fight? What are you trying to pour into your child? Is it valuable enough that you willing to fight to pour it into them? Like it all of that matters, but man, these things can be exceptionally difficult and unfair. It was a Father's Day. You know, when your custody order, mama get Mother's Day, daddy get Father's Day. And she gonna, well, we going out of town for Father's Day. No, you're not. I'm up in court. And they like, well, we'll set a hearing. I'm like, good, because she's not taking my baby girl before Father's Day. I got stuff planned. I'm going to be with my baby girl. You know, they set the hearing for after Father's Day. How are we having a hearing about me having Father's Day and you set the hearing for after Father's Day? And I'm in there like, this don't make no sense. You setting the hearing, you can set the hearing anytime in the next month. You gonna set the hearing till after Father's Day? There's no mechanism. She took her out of town for Father's Day. Then at the hearing, well, next Father's Day, you can't take her. That's it. That's all she get. It's next Father's Day, you can't take her. And what's going to happen if she do? Well, we have remedies for that. We've been trying to get to those remedies, and the remedies never come. So to say, oh, just try, just keep trying. That's me. Just keep trying. It'll get better. Just keep trying. Just keep trying. Sometimes I understand why dudes be giving up. Sometimes I get it. Dante.
What's going on, E?
Hey, what's up, Dante?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm real quick because I'm on a break. But the first thing is the video that you played. You know what I think? I think that the girl, the attacker.
Uh-huh.
I think that was a personal issue. And I think it struck something in her. She was very immature, but I think it was a personal issue. Like maybe she's had an abortion before, or like she's dealt with adoption or something like that. For her to react that way, because it was really strange.
I think, for real, I think she got caught up. She said something. I could tell when the lady asked her, so should we just kill all of the babies in foster care? Instead of just saying, no, I'm not saying that, she decided, okay, I'm going to park right here because I don't want to, I think she might have me on a technicality, so I'm going to park right here. And then she used that against her, and she was just out of her wits, and in her mind, she couldn't even think to just walk away.
But that was kind of strange to attack her, though. I mean, it kind of reminded me, how these people go to extreme issues about abortion. They'll go kill a doctor and all that. You know what I mean? But I think that was kind of strange to me.
Yep, I agree.
That was some strange behavior. And then too, I went through that child support thing before, and I was kind of on the same page that you were on. Like, I just didn't give up, man. I just didn't give up. Like I wore her down. I wore her down. I'm talking about I will come knock on the door. I will go, to the school and pick him up on Friday. I wore her down to the point where she was like, this motherfucker ain't gonna stop. I take him. But I went through the same thing because my son's mom and I, we split or whatever. And everything was cool until I entered into another relationship.
Yeah,
and then that's when everything got crazy. Man, don't be taking my son around. I'm taking my son around no other chick, which I ended up marrying that woman and being with her for 21 years. But she, everything was fine until I moved on. So I moved on to a new relationship. And then and a lot of times with the child support thing, women use it as a weapon and not what it's for.
Absolutely.
We broke up, girl, take him to court. Well, let him be a father first. If he's being neglectful in some way, or he's not holding up his parental responsibilities, well, then you take him to court. But a lot of times we don't even get the chance to F up. It's like we break up, boom, going to court.
And I can tell you from my experience, and I share these experiences just so people know I'm not just this ain't just something that I made up, some theoretical, hypothetical, whatever. From my experience, we have been apart for a year. I have been taking care of my child and two other children that weren't mine biologically, but they were mine because I raised them from the time that they was 6 months old and 1, or 3 months and 1, or whatever. But I raised them from when they was tiny. So I have been taking care of 3 kids for a year. But like you said, when I got into a relationship, then, oh no, now we got to go to child support. And
Right.
and then once
Right.
I've been paying child support consistently for a year, oh, now I got to go get a year's worth of back child support for the year that you was giving me money and taking care of your kids, but you don't have a receipt for.
It wasn't on record, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, they do.
Crazy,
Some
man.
of them, not
It's
all,
crazy,
some
man.
of them use that as a weapon.
Yeah. But like I said, I was kind of on the same page you were on, man. Like I just didn't give up. I didn't give up. I was. You weren't gonna keep me away from my kids, so. But yeah. That's pretty much it. But I do think that girl, man. I think that young girl was I think the girl struck a nerve or hit, pushed a button or something.
But
and it was very strange behavior to attack somebody over that.
Yeah,
That's very
but that's what I
strange.
said. Even if she did strike a nerve, even if she did touch on something from her personal life, again, walk away. You don't attack.
Yeah,
But
walk away. Yeah,
I got
I agree.
I got a
totally
problem
agree,
with
man.
her
Walk away.
attacking, but my larger problem is with all of the people saying that it was okay and justifiable for her to attack her. And I'm like, what are we coming to as a society if that's the way that you think it's okay to deal with somebody because they touch a nerve?
And I think, real quick before I go, and I think too, I just have this thought in my head, and maybe a lot of people might share it too. Sometimes I think people know who they can do that to. You know what I mean? Like I think if I don't want to say this, but if the attacker, if the person doing the interview, if she felt like that person was from the same background that she had, I don't think she would have reacted that way.
Yeah, I hear you.
You get what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
But I think she felt like, I can punch her. I can slap her. She can't whoop me. That's why she pulled that off on her.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so, but, all right, man, thanks. I've been listening. I haven't been able to call, but I've been listening. I've been kind of working a lot, but, appreciate what you do, man. Thanks, and have a good day.
You do the same, man. I appreciate your support and interaction. Yeah, there's something to that. And see, here becomes a part of my issue is this. All right, so she attacks the lady. A segment of the community says, hey, that's acceptable. She shouldn't have said that to her. She shouldn't have touched the nerve, right? What about when it start happening, say the other way around? When somebody starts saying something and, you know what I'm saying? You get into a conversation with a Trump supporter and you like, Trump is trash, and they sock you. What? That was wrong. Oh, you can't do that. Why not? They disagreed with something that you said. You struck a nerve. And remember, it's okay. It's okay to attack people if they strike a nerve, if you don't agree with their beliefs. That's okay. You get into a conversation with somebody about child support, and they don't like what you say, so they sock you. If you think that what that lady did was okay, you can't complain. You can't complain. Yeah, when there's some Karen, saying you take the wrong parking spot and Karen get out and Karen is mad. Or Darren, I guess is what they call the men. And Darren is mad. You saw me waiting for that parking spot and you like, I got it first. And he socked you. You touched the nerve. That's okay now. Remember, that's okay now. Y'all don't agree on something, and you touched the nerve, you said something or did something he didn't like, so he hauled off and socked your ass. That's okay now. Don't be mad. Don't be, he ain't got no business hitting that. No, it's okay. Some of y'all think that's acceptable. Come on. So that's what I said. I'm less worried about her. I'm more worried about the message that everybody who's laughing about it. Look, don't get me wrong. I laughed. Initially when I saw it, I laughed. Not because it was funny, but because I have a condition. But everybody who's laughing about it, saying she deserved it, she brought it on herself and this and this and that. I want y'all, I'm keeping track of some of these people who posting this stuff. Because I want y'all to have that same energy, as they say, when it kind of flipped. Had the same energy when it flipped. Because y'all know, I mean, we see it. I'm sure it's out there. I could probably find a video tomorrow where some MAGA person got mad at some other person who said something and assaulted them. Heck, those people, remember them Trump rallies? And people was protesting at the Trump rallies? And somebody would go over there and sock them? Oh no, that's acceptable, right? That's acceptable now. No, it's not. Jerica says, I laughed because it was so unexpected. It caught me off guard. I have a condition. I couldn't help it. I laugh about stuff that don't be funny. And again, it's my condition. And I'm covered, I think, under the Americans with Disabilities Act. Raven Monday says, you touch my nerve, I'm a tap dance on yours. I'm working on that, though, because I want to be a better person. I don't think that makes you a better person not doing it. That's me. I don't think it makes you a better person to not do it. Vernon says, in today's world, men should only give money to their child's mother over Cash App or Venmo and include that the money is for the child. That way there's a record of them giving the money and what it was for. I don't know if that holds up in court. If I had a little kid out there that I had to, an agreement with a woman to pay child support on, we would have to write something down. And then I would have an old school checkbook. And in that memo, I would say for child support. Because I believe, I would research this, but I believe that once you sign that, that means you're in agreement, you're accepting this money for child support. So we got our written agreement and our mini agreements every time I give you a check. Every time you cash that check, you're agreeing to what's on the other side. This is for child support. Because, yes, somebody just put up that magic word that they used on me in court. Those are gifts. Those are gifts. Because there was a few things she had to acknowledge. Like, yes, he did this. Yes, he did that. Yes, he paid that. Yes, he did this. And, of course, that magistrate in Hamilton County, that magistrate said, those are gifts. Like, I'm not gifting her, paying her electric bill. That's not a gift. I'm paying bills. It's not a gift. Why would that just be a gift? Happy Thursday. Here's a gift. No. Mary says, pay it to child support only. Well, I'm not sure because they get a piece of that. They call it, at least I know they used to call it poundage. They get some of that money. So if I'm giving her $100, she don't necessarily get $100 from child support. Child support taking $5. You know, she get 95. I don't know what the percentage is. I'm just saying. Child support is taking a piece of that. So now she only getting 95. So she needed $100 for something, and I take it down and pay it through child support. I got to pay them $115 for her to get the $100. But if we can be reasonable and have an agreement, I can give you a $100 check. I don't know why I'm doing all of this for a check. I can give you a $100 check, and then you get the whole $100. Nat says, don't they take it out your check, or is that only when you're delinquent? They don't. Look, don't get me lying, because I don't know all the ins and outs of child support, even though I've been through the system. I don't know that they necessarily take it out of your check. They don't necessarily take it out of your check. Like, I believe I could have gone down and paid it. But most times I think it's just more convenient. Just go ahead and take it out of my check. But again, when they do that, they don't get the whole $100. I'm just using $100 because it's a round number. Mary says, select better females. Agreed. Ladies, this is, again, I keep doing this lesson for y'all. See how I'm not complaining about her saying select better female? I'm not, well, how was I supposed to know that she was the kind of female that would do that? I'm not doing all of that nonsense. Yes, I should have selected a better female. I agree, Mary. Select better females. See, ladies, y'all can do that too. When somebody select better men. No, because you don't always know. And he was a good man until we got, and then when it did, and how was I supposed to know that men is some snakes and they don't do, and you don't know what they gonna do before. So it wasn't my fault. How was I supposed to know that he was the kind of man? And if more men would do it, no, just select better men. Okay, you're right. Mary, you're right. Select better females. But in as much as I didn't and had to go through that, and a lot of other men don't and have to go through that, then they need to understand kind of the repercussions of not selecting better females. And that system does not, I can't say now, because it's been a long time since I was dealing with that system. But that system, at least when I was dealing with it, was not your friend if you were a male. Was not. Janice says, all men should keep a folder with all of the receipts for child support. Just know that any record keeper can and will make mistakes. I've seen it happen. They say they didn't receive something, but you have signed receipt. Again, to what Mary said, Janice. It don't matter how many receipts you got. You can walk in there with one of them accordion folders full of receipts. I gave her this much money on this date, and I gave her this much money on this day, and I gave her this much. See, here's a picture of me. We took a selfie. And she holding the cash, and I'm holding it with her. See, I gave her that money. And, here, I went to the store, and I bought these shoes, and I went to the store, and I bought these clothes. I can't say with 100% now, but when I was going to court, them was all gifts. It didn't matter what I had in that accordion folder. That was all gifts. Magistrate asked me, how do I know that was for child support? How do I know that y'all agreed that you would buy the shoes? I bet if I ask her right now, she's going to say that it wasn't. That was just something you did. How do I know that y'all agreed that you would pay that electric bill as a part of, supporting your child? I bet if I ask her right now, she'll just say, you did it because you wanted to do it. Don't matter how many receipts you got. Or at least it didn't then. It didn't then. Shannon says, yes. Be careful who you procreate with. Yes. Yes, I agree. Y'all hear that, ladies? I'm going to keep hammering that because these conversations are easy to have with men. Alethea.
Hello, Eli. Look, I agree with you on some of the things you're talking about, and then I disagree with others. But I'm going to talk about, because somebody requested, of what I do agree with. It is hard for a man to produce receipts on what they've done for their child after a separation, because it's quite, simple that y'all been together the entire time. I mean, in the situation I'm in now, my baby is almost 2, but we both do what we need to do for the child. I don't think support order should be started on like previous. If a child support order be started, I think it should be like after the breakup.
Huh?
You get what I mean? Like, no. If there's a child support order created, I think it should be created for after the breakup, not like during, like back support. It should start from that moment.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because I think some people get into the child support issue because there's so much confrontation and conflict going back and forth of what should be done, how it should be done, and it get mixed up of what's obligated for the child versus you still need to take care of me too type thing. And I think it's safer for a man to have the child support, so he'll just strictly be paying what he needs for the child versus additional money for the woman and the child, if that's what it comes to. But as adults, we should all look forward for the same thing anyway, like just for the child to be taken care of. I can take care of myself, you can take care of yourself, but at the end of the day, the baby needs to be taken care of.
Okay. I agree. The baby need to be taken care of.
Yeah. You have ignorant people, and I'm saying this, it could be like the woman themselves that feels like you're going to do what I want you to do when I want you to do it. Mm-hmm. And we have to be sensible of what that looks like for a male who's out here now on his own, that having busting his tail to take care of an entire family, but now he has to start all the way back over for himself. It's kind of like, okay, I have to do this to get on my feet, get my new place and new furniture, because more than likely the man will leave all that stuff in the old relationship.
Yes.
So you have to give the man time to get on his feet so he can be more better for the child to produce the same style of living that the child was used to in the home with both parents. If you get what I mean. Like,
I hear what you're saying. I've never agreed with that whole idea of the child should live the same lifestyle in both parents' homes stuff. I've never 100% agreed with that. But
no, what I'm saying is, like, when the man moves out, right, normally he has to go live with a family member temporarily until he gets on his feet.
Right.
So he can't give you $500 and $600 like right now because he's preparing to get his own. Like, y'all used to live together. I mean, whoever decides to move out, you have to get yourself together financially to provide a safe environment. Because even if it was going through like custody battle, they have to still come into your home and make sure you have the bed. I'm sorry for Cruz. He's just leaving a Mexican restaurant. But you still have to produce like the bed, food. The kid has to have their own bedroom. So a man that's taking care of a full home, a 3-bedroom house, 4 bedrooms house, whatever it is, he's putting all the money into the home, into the cars, to separate. I'm talking about a marriage at this point. It's going to be a lot for him to establish his lifestyle to be appropriate for a child versus going to live with his mom or in somebody's basement.
You're right.
You get what I mean? Like, he can't just jump out and say, okay, let me just go get this house. He has to get on his feet. Even though things have not worked out for you all, that's not saying he's not taking care of the baby. The woman is nearly like just saying, like, no, I need it right now. If you can't give it to me right now, I'm going to get child support.
Right.
So that's what I mean by lifestyle. Like, give him a chance to get on his feet.
Yes. But like you said, but like I said, the court don't care about that.
No, they don't. But that's the thing. Like, I think the court system is for men who are absent. Absent fathers or mothers should be penalized, and there should be created where when you work, it has to be taken out your check because you're not responsible enough to make sure that your children are going to be taken care of. And even with that, it's pennies. It's pennies. It's not like it's going to take full care of this kid, but I'm saying fathers like that. But when you have a father that's interested into not only financial support, but being there physically, making sure the kid is with them, I think that's all from the breakup. Like, it's just a big, nasty breakup. But the system, I think it should only be for the absent parent, the one who's not financially, like, taking care of that child and just totally just not there.
I understand what you're saying, and I agree.
Yeah. But unfortunately, you get good men in that system, and I'm married to one also that never missed a payment. Actually, it's kind of crazy where he put himself on it, because he didn't want that deadbeat, you don't do this, you don't do that, and when a man does better in his future than what he did in his past, that ignites something in the ex as well. Like, it ignites a fire, like, oh, okay, you're doing better, so now I need more type thing. I've been in a situation where it was like she came after me as being a new wife. And that's very unfortunate because if anything, a child deserves double the pleasure, meaning if father and mom have moved on, you now have bonus parents, and you can't lose if y'all looking at the love for the child.
Yes.
But when you're bitter, it can make the child suffer. They don't know who back to have. They feel like they always have to pick a side. Mm-hmm. You're going to court back and forth. Somebody is always painted out to be the bad person. But when a good man is in that system, I think they drain them. My husband also have joint custody, but it's a terrible fight of the visitation. Like, of course, if he didn't pay, if he was in a system like that where he was a non-paying father, he would have been held in contempt a long time ago. But when it comes to custody and not showing up with the child where you're supposed to be at, all that's part of an order. There's no contempt on the woman. It's always an excuse, and the excuses are excusable. So that's why I say I do agree with you on a lot, but you're a doable father. You're a father that wants to be there, and I think they railroad you all, but the ones they need to be on, they don't.
I don't know about that necessarily, but yeah, I agree with a lot of. I don't know what.
I can tell you, they don't. Yeah, they out here they paying $1.01. Believe me, it probably costs more to just send that in processing fees, with child support. But as long as you pay something, you won't be held in contempt. And most of these fathers know the absent fathers, that's neglectful of just recognizing that they have an obligation for children. Those type fathers, they can just get on by. Of course, you're going to have the back pay, but they're just running out here making more kids and, leaving them too. But the good fathers, I feel like they railroad them. Like they just take them through the ringer. Mm-hmm. They pay all this money. They have their own lawyers. They get their rights. They get the joint custody. They get the child support and all that, but there's nobody to enforce it on the man's side.
I agree. So what did you not agree with me with? Everything you said,
I don't, okay. When you were saying, like, with the mothers, that's why I was trying to tell you the difference. Like, there is fathers out here. Like, yours is a good case, and I think I saw another young man in there that had a good case. Like, hey, I got custody of my baby. I tried, and another one called in and said, I didn't give up. Sometimes it takes that. Like, you have to fight through the fire a little bit for your children. Now, for me, myself, I'm a mother. I would never want to be without my children. But when people are like, it's just too much, I give up this court stuff, I just don't think you should ever, like, completely give up. I know it can be stressful. You having difficulty seeing through all the smoke and the flames, but in the end, your child would appreciate that fight in you because they're dependent on you to win. They can't fight the parent and tell their mother or whoever parent it is, hey, stop, give dad a chance or give mom a chance. I want to be involved. Only thing they're going to know is the negativity that's spread by the parent who they live with. Right. So that's what I was saying. Like, it just depends on the father. Like, I feel like you had a very, very good case.
What do you think you disagree with me on? We agree on all
that's
that.
You didn't say that, though. You was just saying, like, this.
No, I did.
Fathers, they just don't be. Okay, well, I didn't hear that, then. Yeah. Let me say that. If you did say it, I apologize. I just didn't hear that. But I think when we were talking about why his situation, I think his father was very neglectful. I don't think his grandmother was keeping that father away, because what happens with a grandmother, it's financially a struggle to take in not only your child but your grandchild. The income back then wasn't that great, so of course a grandmother is going to want the help of the parent. Like, that's who's supposed to be taking care of the kid, is the parent. So when somebody tells you, like, no, this is not it, I think people need to really listen, because every story is different. That's all I was saying. Like, there's a difference with the men that are the fathers. You know how much you did specifically for your case, but everybody's case is not the same. So part of me, if you said that, I just didn't hear it.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't know nothing about Wyatt's situation. I don't comment on it. I don't know nothing about it. Mm-hmm. And it is what it is. The brother's a good dude, so
he is. Whatever. He's a good brother. And you sometimes is a good brother. You sometimes. You are sometimes.
Why you a hater?
I know. All right. Have a good night.
Alethea, you do the same.
All right, thanks.
All right. That was Alethea. Hold on. I saw Vernon Jordan. Vernon Jordan put up a comment, and hold on. Let me see. Vernon said, if he's doing all that, then he should not have to move in with his mom or some other family member. He should already be on his feet. We need to stop making excuses for this stuff. No, Vernon. No. Again, everything is kind of situational, right? You can be married in what you think is a good situation, and one day all hell break loose, and you realize the best thing for me to do is get out of here. It's best for me. It's best for the kids. It's even best for that chick. Let me get out of here. Where you gonna go? Most apartments, you can't just go in at 9 o'clock in the morning and move in at 10 o'clock in the morning. There's a process. So where you gonna go when you deal with the process? Most people, well, I can't say most people, some people don't have just on hand, because especially you're not thinking, I'm gonna leave. It just happens. That night, all hell break loose. You jump in your Toyota with your Xbox, because that's all you took with you, and you leave. You can't just go to an apartment complex at 10:30 at night and say, I'm moving in. I got furniture in the back seat of my Toyota Camry. Oh, you don't have a month's rent, security deposit, and whatever just on hand because you wasn't preparing to leave. So you might have to go stay with your mom or your sister or your friend, and they let you stay there for a week or two until you done went through the process. Now you got your spot. Now you're ready to move in, but you still ain't got no furniture. So it's not making excuses to say, give him an opportunity to get on his feet. He left at 10:30 in the morning 2 weeks ago, or 10:30 at night 2 weeks ago, and now he got an apartment, but now he got to get furniture. He still got to eat. He still got to put gas in that car. He still got to take care of his kids. Sometimes he's still going to be helping pay the bills because he don't want the kids to be there with no water or no electricity. So some of his money is still going to that household. But he got to carve out of that some money to buy a bed. And then he need a TV. He don't need a TV, but And then he need a bed for the kids. And he need another bed for the kids. And then he need somewhere for them to sit while they eat. And then he need some living room furniture. He need another TV for the kids to watch. It's not an excuse to say that man needs some time to get on his feet. If it's a month or two, you know what I'm saying? Again, a lot of people don't carry a balance in their bank account where they could just say, all right, I left at 10:30 at night. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to go take out, $12,000 and pay this first month's rent, this security deposit, buy a whole house full of furniture. And so I'll have all of that stuff by 10 o'clock tonight. Nah, he needs some time to get his stuff together. That's not making excuses. That's just reasonable. That's just reasonable. Right, he need a few plates and glasses. Vernon say, sound like a man who need to make sure he keep peace in his home so he won't have to move out. That don't even make sense. If somebody, any number of things can happen to create a situation where it's time to go. Nobody wants that. But if you're not the bad party, you find out some stuff been jumping off that you didn't know nothing about and somebody attacks you with a knife. But you like, well, I got to keep the peace because I got to stay here to make sure everything is going to be okay. You didn't see none of that coming. Situations happen. It's not reasonable to say that everybody in every situation is going to be able to do that. And if not, just keep the peace in your home. That's not reasonable. Come on, Vernon. You know that's not reasonable. Daryl says, obvious. Vernon never been in that situation. It's a tough situation to be in. Trust me. And I mean, when you just leave everything, you start completely over. You go to Walmart and get an air mattress. And that's all you got when you first move into that apartment. That's it. Vernon say that's what hotels are for. You know how much hotels cost? Again, he's still helping pay bills so his kids ain't cold or, got electricity, got food. You're just not being reasonable, Vernon. You're not being reasonable. There are situations that come up. Everybody don't deal with them. Everybody don't deal with them. Thank goodness. But every once in a while, a man or a woman will have to deal with a situation when they just got to drop everything and go start over. But you dropped everything, but that's still your responsibility. I ain't paying no electricity in no house I don't live in. And then what about when your kids don't have no electricity and it's cold and they ain't got no heat? What when they ain't got no water? Then you're a terrible father for letting your kids live in that situation. So you still gotta keep pouring money there. I can't, some men, now maybe, you know what I'm saying, if you're one well off and whatnot, cool. But I'm talking people who just work in, regular old jobs. And I got to take care of this over here. I don't have that kind of money coming in. Because if I go stay at a hotel for the next 2 weeks, my money going to the hotel. And I ain't going to never get the deposit and first month's rent and last month's rent. I ain't going to ever happen. That's just, for real, it's reasonable. It's simple things that happen. And Daryl said exactly, an air mattress and a TV is what I had when I started over. That was it. Air mattress and a TV. Mary, I didn't even have glasses and stuff like that initially. It took me a couple days, and I was like, because I was kicking it, you know what I'm saying? A friend of mine let me stay. And so I got the spot. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to go to the spot. Got myself a little air mattress. Got myself a little TV. That's all I need. That's it. That's all I need to make it. And I went, and I'm sitting there, and I got thirsty. I ain't got no glasses. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm going to drink water. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no glasses. I ain't got no silverware. I ain't got no soap. I ain't got no rags. I ain't got none of that kind of stuff. So I'm back over at my friends like, hey, can I stay, one more night, get up and do everything. And in the morning, I got to run, pick me up some other things that I didn't even think about because I'm just thinking about getting in my apartment. I didn't even think about the fact I'm drinking out of your glasses and using your silverware and your rags and your soap and, you know what I'm saying, your toothbrush, not your toothbrush, but you know what I'm saying, your toothpaste and, all that kind of, all of my essentials. I got to go buy all of that stuff. I didn't even think about it. So yeah, I had to stay an extra night at my friend's spot so that in the morning I could go buy all of that stuff and then, okay, now I'm good. But just your head is just running. I need a spot. I need this. I needed that. And sometimes, and in my, I wish I would have made a list. I'm not a list maker. I wish I would have made a list. Like, oh, you need this and you need this and whatever. But yeah, it ain't that easy. It's not starting over. It's not necessarily all that easy. And I had a friend who said, you ain't got to pay me nothing. I know the situation. Come on, you can stay here. You ain't got to pay me nothing. And if you need some help, let me know. I got you. And it still took me some time with no other responsibilities to get everything together. So, yeah, no, Vernon, that's not making excuses. My else talk about I hate myself for laughing at you drinking water out of your hands. Yeah, you should hate yourself for laughing about that. That what? It's not funny. That's not funny at all. Nigga thirsty, gotta dirt on the water and drink out his hands. Yeah. Vernon says, so you didn't move back in with Moms. If I wouldn't, well, Moms was, dead at the time. So that kind of hindered the move in with Mom's thing. But if Moms hadn't been dead, I would have probably moved in with Moms or moved in with my sister or, moved. Well, I couldn't move in with my dad because he had moved all the way to Alabama. So that was off the table. But if I could have moved in with moms, I would have. And I wouldn't have been ashamed of it. And moms would have said, okay, you got that apartment. Do you have some cups? Do you have some washcloths and some towels? You got soap? You need all of that stuff, boy. I was a grown man. She was still saying boy. But that's what she would have made sure I had everything, taken care of. Because she would have been thinking about that. Because, she's mom. But I wouldn't have been ashamed of it. Not at all. And like you say, you start over, and I agree with Alethea. Sometimes you're like, if I would have been put on child support, like right out the gate, which I was one of them people who went to child support and said, after that, when I saw, like, oh, I need some more money. Oh, I need some more money. I ain't got no money. Oh, you a deadbeat. Hold on. You know how much money I just gave you yesterday? I'm a deadbeat? Oh, I see where this is going. Let me go down to child support and take care of this way. I'll end up paying a lot less through the child support system than I'm actually giving you in money and paying bills and buying stuff. But you don't really think about that stuff until it's time to think about that stuff. When you see, look, but I'm a big proponent of when you look for signs and when you see, I didn't do it, getting into it, all right? Mary, then you choose better people. I saw signs. I ignored those signs because I saw, booty, and I like booty. So I ignored some signs. I'll never ignore signs for booty ever again. Never. So we're talking about when our 20s and something like this happened, not in our 40s or 50s, right? Because a man in his 40 and his 50 moving back in his mother's house is a bum. No. If I was in my 40s, now I think I was in my 30s. But if I was right now, Mrs. Livingston came down here with a knife trying to chase me around, I would run and jump in my car and I wouldn't come back. But I got to sleep somewhere tonight. And if my mom's was alive, and I would call her and say, hey, Ma, Mrs. Livingston was chasing me around the house with a knife. I'm not going back there. Can I stay with you for a minute? And Mama would be mad about me asking. You should be telling me you coming to stay here. You know you ain't got to ask me that. No, you ain't no bum because you have to go stay with your mom for a couple weeks to get everything together. No. Come on, Vernon, you're not being reasonable here. You're not being reasonable. If it happened right now, for real, if it happened right now, I know I could go to my sister's house, any number of my sisters. I know I could go to their house. I don't know about my brothers. I definitely wouldn't be going up to Toledo. And I don't know about my younger brother. I don't know if he would be like, come on, stay here. I don't know. He probably would, but I don't know. But I know I could go to my sister's house. I know I got a few friends that I could go and stay with. Yes, I could go stay at your mama's house, Chelsea. Yes, I could. She'd say, let me make up this couch for you. I guarantee she would let me come and stay. Guarantee it. Let me make up this couch. And ain't no shame in that. Ain't no shame in that. Tanika talking about you could come down here. We have an extra bedroom. Please, your husband ain't killing me. Your husband ain't killing me. I come down there, staying in your spare room. Your husband is not killing me. What you bringing this sexy nigga in my house for? No. Not happening, Tanika. You ain't setting me up. Chelsea's talking about, you right. She loves taking in nomads. Oh, I guaranteed I would have a place to stay. And again, wouldn't feel no shame about it. Thank you. Here's some money. You know what I'm saying? When I get on my feet, here's some cash. Even when I was much younger, but when I went and stayed with my sister, not Chelsea mama, my other sister, when I went and stayed with her, and I was like, here, I was paying them money. You know what? When I got ready to move out, and I had my little 13-inch TV, and I had my little bed from the place to scream at you about they sales. Nationwide warehouse! Nationwide warehouse! You know what I'm saying? They be screaming like, damn, why you hollering at me? Nigga, I'm not deaf. I'm a little poor, but I'm not deaf. Come to Nationwide Warehouse, and we got beds for $29.99. Like, why are you screaming at me, Nationwide Warehouse? But I went and got one of them beds and a 13-inch TV, and I was like, I got my apartment, and she was like, okay, great. And while I had my little stuff together, getting ready to move out, and she was like, here. And I'm like, what? And she's like, no, this is all the money that you paid me. I didn't do nothing with it. I just kept it because I figured when you move out, you're going to need it. I didn't feel shamed about it. Even about taking it. I didn't expect it, but I didn't feel no shame about it. No, ain't nothing shameful about that. It don't make you a bum. It don't make you a bum. Nationwide Warehouse don't exist anymore. Now, who are the people who scream at you now? What's the place up there? It used to be up on Mulhauser. It might still be on Mulhauser. Off 747 and Mulhauser. And they scream at you about they sales. What is the name of that place? I can't think of the name of the place, but it's a place where they sell cheap furniture. Cheap being inexpensive furniture. They sell, it'd be cheap too, but they sell cheap furniture. Top Dog Insurance. I don't even know what Top Dog. American Freight. Yes. They the ones who scream at you now. I don't know why they think that's a good sales tactic. But I remember Nationwide Warehouse, and they used to say the name 3 times. Nationwide Warehouse, Nationwide Warehouse, Nationwide Warehouse. And I'm like, oh my God. I ain't never going to Nationwide Warehouse. I don't want to walk in there so they can be screaming at me. They were very nice when I walked in there, though. But yes, now American Freight, they will scream at you that their prices are low. Stop screaming at me. As my one friend said, I'm poor, not deaf. Somebody said they closed about 2 months ago. Nationwide Warehouse closed 2 months ago. I mean, American Freight. I thought I saw them still out there. Tanika say they scream on the commercial. Yes, they scream on the commercial. Yes. Yes, they do. I don't know why they scream on the commercial, but yes, they scream almost like I was just screaming. But they're better because I guess they practice and they scream in the right key so that it's okay for them to do. They scream at you. Vernon says, I've never heard of American Freight, but I've heard of Nationwide Warehouse. Yeah, Nationwide Warehouse don't exist no more. But American Freight took their marketing tactic. Y'all, I got to get out of here. I'm sorry, I got to get out of here. I looked up. I got to go get the little baby. Kim says it's on Ridge. Nationwide Warehouse is? I thought they was out of business. But I got to get out of here. My should say they had the screaming commercial in Chicago, and I remember it used to always tick my daddy off. He would cuss whenever that commercial came on. I don't know why they scream at you. I really don't. But I appreciate y'all all hanging out with me. Again, I disagree with the lady socking the interviewer. Just walk away. Just walk away. It's not okay. And when we see it happen now, on the other side, I want y'all the people who think it's okay, don't say, oh, that white man shouldn't have hit that black lady. Because you said it was okay. All right, I got to get out of here. Okay, I hear them coming. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all evening. Stay warm, stay safe, stay mature, and be the reason that somebody smiles today. Till next time, I'm out, y'all. Peace.